Despite overwhelming support for reproductive and abortion rights by the population of Iowa for people capable of getting pregnant, the female governor and the majority male representatives of the Iowa legislature joined way too many other states in imposing a 6-week abortion ban on Friday, July 14th, 2023. Governor Kim Reynolds signed the legislation at the Family Leadership Summit, also known as a Christian evangelical gathering, declaring the greatest injustice of all time is about to be put right. Gee, thanks. So much of this is based on the myth of the fetal heartbeat. Let's explore this for a moment. Why do I say that the 6-week fetal heartbeat trope is a myth? It's because it is. At 6 weeks, the fetus is an embryo. An embryo doesn't have a heart. Sorry, evangelicals, that's a scientific fact. The term fetal heartbeat is medically inaccurate and deliberately misleading. According to Dr. Ian Fraser Golding, a pediatric and fetal cardiologist at Rady Children's Hospital in San Diego, while the heart does begin to develop in a healthy fetus at around 6 weeks, at this point, the heart as we know it does not yet exist. It's basic anatomy. Obstetricians say that at 6 weeks, an embryo doesn't have a fully formed heart, but rather a cluster of cells that emits electronic signals. If we trusted science and experts, everyone would know this. Unfortunately, the myth appears to be far more appealing phrase or lie, which is what it is. Why are people with a uterus being mortgaged? Everyone connected to that embryo is a fully fleshed out human being, but that fact seems to be lost in this equation. The 6-week cluster of cells seems to be the only thing the anti-abortionists seems to care about. Are people capable of carrying a fetus, not entities? If you prick them, do they not bleed? One of the facts is that infant mortality is already high. The U.S. has the worst infant mortality rate of a developed nation in the world. We're 31, right up there with Kazakhstan. And the rate has increased since the Dobbs decision and the draconian bans imposed on reproductive rights access. Even before this ban, Iowa lost 5 births out of every 1,000. Not the worst rate of infant mortality in the states, but far from the best. In 1949, Simone de Beauvoir wrote that to men, women were just a womb in her classic book, The Second Sex. That was 74 years ago, and it was radical to question it. Now, sadly, it's true again, and it expands beyond women to girls and transgendered people capable of getting pregnant. Further, de Beauvoir stated that women must resist the temptation to remain inferior. Feminists need to acknowledge the many differences among women and to utilize them as a source of power rather than one of division, as the poet Audre Lorde encouraged. The Iowa legislature is composed of 16 Democrats and 34 Republicans in the Senate and 36 Democrats and 64 Republicans in the House. The majority male Republican legislature voted in this bill, which was signed by the Republican governor. 70% of all females in Iowa disagreed with this bill. 60% of all people in Iowa disagreed in general. Yet, the legislature and the governor felt they knew better. I repeat, shame on you, Iowa. Thankfully, the ACLU has followed suit in Iowa to get this reversed. A final injustice. The aforementioned Kim Reynolds has also deemed that rape survivors will no longer be automatically issued emergency contraception in the hospital after their assault. Thus, a 14-year-old rape survivor in Iowa or a 41-year-old rape survivor in Iowa could be condemned to a forced pregnancy as well as healing from an assault. Yeah, that helps. I'm Barbara Levin, the chair of Toby's Fund for Reproductive Health Equity. Toby's Fund is a nonprofit that helps fund abortions, emergency contraception, and pregnancy prevention for those who can't afford the services. We fund nonprofits, not individuals, and our services are only for residents of McHenry County, Illinois. We wish to help those who believe that a person who is capable of getting pregnant can also determine their own health decisions for themselves. We are beyond the binary. We recognize and embrace all possibilities of gender identity, expression, and experience. Thank you.